Hello, everybody, and welcome to my continuing series on World Government UFO Files Disclosure, the series that will be comprised of 14, maybe a little bit more, detailed looks at various governments around the world and their efforts in disclosing their archives and files as to what they have regarding the UFO and extraterrestrial phenomenon. Chances are, if you're listening in, you may be a resident of the United States, although I do have a worldwide audience. A majority of them are going to be from the U.S. And for those of you residing in your home country, you may think that your particular government may be behind the curve in terms of disclosing what they know about the ET and UFO phenomenon. That's not necessarily the case. No country is really the world leader. Likewise, in disclosure also, the phenomenon is slowly rolling out, but as time goes on, a lot of our world governments are seemingly becoming more and more transparent in terms of their disclosure. So I hope you can follow along in my series. I'm going to be posting, like I said, 14, maybe a couple more videos, and each video is going to be of a variety, kind of like a TED Talk. They're only going to be 10 to maybe 15 minutes in length. They will spotlight one government and their efforts and history in the UFO and ET phenomenon, and comparing and contrasting with their worldwide counterparts. So as I go through here with this overview, introduction here, I just want to give you a little bit of a flavor of the culture of this particular phenomenon. Many countries have already released some of their files regarding the ET UFO phenomenon. But human beings behave basically the same way, and the landscape, taking that notion and applying it to the landscape of the government disclosure phenomenon, I've come to find in my survey that a lot of the world governments act similarly in terms of what they'll disclose, where they obtained their information from, how they curated, how they organized their information in the first place, and then also too how they disclosed what they disclosed and what they may still be hiding in terms of information and documentation and things like that. So the behaviors across the governments, if you stay tuned to all of my series, you're going to find conclusions that a lot of the governments kind of act similarly in that way. But one takeaway, which is overriding, obvious, and overwhelming when you follow through in viewing all of the videos, to come to the conclusion that the world governments are adding so much more evidence to the landscape and pondering to answer the question, are we alone in the universe? Are there other intelligences? The amounts of information which will, from the governments alone, which contains many thousands, or by this point millions of pages of documentation, are going to lead one to conclude that there is a phenomenon going on and that there are a lot of questions and a lot of answers, but their disclosure is just going to further prove the nature of the notion that we are not alone. So I'm not going to keep this video too long, but I just want to give you a couple of little introductory items here. As I go through each video, I'm going to be highlighting website locations and things like that from the various governments for documentation and whatnot. I'm going to be posting for each individual country. I will post on my Facebook page, The Humaniverse, slides and photos of those particular websites. I don't want to make the reading during a video too complex or too involved or whatever, but I'm going to be mentioning many websites as I go through the survey of the various countries and their disclosure efforts and whatnot. But I don't want you to get bogged down and bothered with having to scramble right down website locations and things like that. You will find, if you do travel to these websites, you'll find them very, very enlightening, but I'm going to post the website addresses on the Humaniverse Facebook page. So if you're a member of Facebook, that's great if you use it. If you don't use it, well, unfortunately, at this point, I'll try and find other avenues to post on there. But really, for sake of brevity and completeness, you'll want to tune into the Humaniverse website to gain those website locations. And you're going to find, as you surf through some of them for the various countries, you're going to find them very, very enlightening as to just the sheer volume of information that's contained in a lot of them. And that's going to be variable too. Some countries are going to be more involved than others. Some will have richer histories than others, but the results remain the same in that their contributions to the documentation and literature archive information effort will draw you to the conclusion that there is a phenomenon going on, that we are not alone as far as intelligent species in the universe. So without further ado, after you're done tuning into this, I will be posting videos from each of the countries during the series. And the first couple, I just give you a highlight. The first couple I'm going to dive into will be efforts from New Zealand, Canada, and Japan. And like I said, there will be a list of 14 and maybe a couple more in the series. I'm sure you're going to want to tune in and listen to all of them. They all have their own story. So sit back and take a view and enjoy. Thanks.